Superfly compared to an athlete that eventually went on to become a phenom in New York and then eventually fall apart due to his personal demons, as the wrestling terminology would go?
Well, Jimmy's a good man, and he taught me so much. I mean, here's a guy that a year and a half, I was green, man. I mean, I barely knew. But he worked with me. We were together every night, and this is how you learn. This is how is to be with somebody that knows the rope. Jimmy had already been in the business for 20 years, you know. I mean, Jimmy was seasoned, and he knew. You know, he knew. And he took a hold of me and embraced me, and I did the same to him, and he taught me every night. He'd get on me, and you know, we had a blast, and then finally, you know, it sort of sinks in, and you get an idea of it, kind of like golf. Nobody will ever master golf. Not even the pros don't master it. They just make a few less mistakes. But it's hard to, you know, it's hard to master it.
Right.
To master it, and wrestling was this way. To really play with people's emotions, and that was my thing. My thing was to never have the same match every night.
Right, cookie cutter wrestling.
Like some people I know. The same match they had 25 years ago, they do the same thing today. I couldn't stand that. And I even wrote notebooks, and I knew exactly what I did. If I was going into a town, I'd write down a few things, what I did and everything, and the things I'd done, and the gist of the match, and I graded myself. And I did this. I really did.
We have a senior official in the Millennium Wrestling Federation that does something similar than that. He keeps an ongoing notebook. Tony Jordan, one of the referees we have in the MWF up here in Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I did that, and I never had the same match twice.
That's what it should be.
Never. I changed something up.
How did you look at going back to Mid-South for the second time? More experience under your belt, been here, there, and everywhere, learning more in different territories. Were you expecting a bigger push this time around? Did you have any grander visions as your first run with Bill Watts? What was it like to go back down south
The second
again?
go-round?
Yeah.
Oh, that's been a long time ago. I don't remember all that. Well, no, I don't. I did good with Bill the second time. I did real good. Yeah, it just place wore you out.
Yeah.
I mean, you start making 400 and 500 mile trips in one day. You know, it gets old. And after I was there for a year and a half, something like that, I'd have to get fired or quit. And then I'd come back. You know, I always had a home to go to. I could always go back. And I'd do that. And then finally when I got my big chance, and well, I had a chance to go with Vince before I even came up here. Mm-hmm. Ernie Ladd had called me, and I was in Pensacola, down there with the Fullers. And Ernie had called me and said, Mr. McMahon wants to talk to you. I called him. And I had the opportunity to go to New York about 3 or 4 years before I even went to New York.
Really?
And if I made one mistake, that would have been the one. Because I might have been the champion. There was probably a real good chance in it. Probably a wonderful chance in it.
Oh, Backlund was the champion at the time. You guys were big aficionados in the day.
Yeah.
What would a Orndorff-Backlund run have been like, Jackal? Could you have seen the title switch at that time? Or?
Yeah, quite possibly, because look who they ended up giving it to.
Cheeky baby.
Yeah.
Well, and there was a little bit of talk, but there again, that's it. I just went down there with them, and I was in the middle of something down there, and I was loyal to them. I stayed. I said no. And Ernie told me, he said, Paul, that's the worst mistake you ever made.
He was right.
Yep.
And
That would have been the difference, right? That
Yeah.
would have. But you know, I'm good at making bad mistakes. I'm real good at it.